Oh, fantastic. And there goes the big intro. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Monday morning meeting. I don't actually need to speak into this. I don't know why I'm doing that. Today we have the big part of the team here today. A few people missing, but we have a guest as well today as well to help with some business stuff. We have Duante Suitman Barnett from Suitman Productions. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
And we have David and Bennett, our producers, as usual. And I think we have a couple board members watching as they're doing their otherwise work. So they might chime in if they have any nuggets of wisdom or things they think we should speak of.
Awesome.
So Duante, I'll give you a little rundown about what we do here on the Monday morning meeting. Basically, my story is I'm a newer comic. I'm just passing my 1 year mark now. Yay. And my crazy life is turned upside down and backwards. And somehow or other, I've ended up with like a Disney special. I have an empty bar that I've turned into a comedy club and now a YouTube studio. And we've been in pandemic and lockdown the entire time. We've only been allowed to do 1 or 2 shows here. And so as we're planning and thinking and trying to figure out what to do with our lives, I've been asking people with more experience like yourself and others to come on here. And I gather a little bit of intel for myself to help what I'm working on. And then also people, other comics at home can watch along and, maybe get some tips from people ahead of them. So thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, no problem. One of my biggest things that you may have seen is I've been actually actively looking to help people and share my information, which is kind of different for our scene, right? So I'm totally with this idea of the exchange of information and getting people better.
We don't have to be enemies.
What?
Right?
No way.
We could gotta work together. There's enough for everyone. It's crazy.
Oh shit! You're joking, right? Like you're joking me, right? You're kidding, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, it seems like you've been all over the place. Actually, kind of how I got attracted to you more so than watching. I've seen you do a couple stand-up sets, but you've been doing some live streaming just wherever you are, and you've been traveling around your country and just going, I'm live and here's what's going on. And I've really enjoyed that.
So it started last year. Seattle had the shitty riots in response to George Floyd. And I was in the middle of those. And I think we had 3 cars burning at one point, and it was pretty fucking bad. And so we sorry about that. We decided to go and go down there, and after the shit on the 7th, it was like, are we really gonna try, and not the 7th but the 6th, but are they really gonna try to do this shit again? And I was like, they might. I think really, you know what I mean? I think they might. Yeah. And I got a crowdfunded trip. Everybody paid for most of what I spent down there to at least get there. And the basic travel, I spent probably $160 that whole week, but I also went to Boston. But it was an opportunity to see history. And then, like, you're not seeing everybody dance in the streets. I don't think they showed everybody having that great of a time, right?
No, not at all.
They made it look like it was just every day, when really it was one of the greatest moments to be around and to see. You know what I mean? Like little black girls dancing around. I was passing out my Black and Proud stickers, which are black unicorn or the rainbow hair, and black girls love those things, right? And it was amazing to just see them just glow, and all these little black girls down there for the inauguration, because I mean that's not usually the scene, you know what I'm saying? And it was more of a celebration than anything else. It wasn't I mean, it felt dangerous because of all the damn armed guards, and maybe nothing happened because all the armed guards were there, but it was just awesome. You can't explain it, you know what I mean? Like, there was 3 emotions. You had the emotions before of tension. The day of, it was tense as hell and quiet, if you saw, and then afterward it was a party. Like literally just everybody dancing. Got to see John Legend. Got him to shout out my brand name, Suitman. So I was happy about that. Like, it was just, it's something you can't pay for that, right?
Yeah, no, it's wild to see it from, like, I guess I would say, like, from a more like my perspective. It's like I've seen you around. You're a comic. You're doing your thing, and it's like now you're somewhere where I could be. And you're just there and streaming it live and seeing the narrative that they're not showing us on media or in Canada, or I don't know if it's the same in the States, I don't know. But we only see what they show us. And like, that's a much more pleasant and loving like thing, is like people dancing, having fun, celebrating this thing that's happening, not putting this like it's so dangerous. It's you know, really focusing on the negative, right?
That was the funny part. I have friends from Canada, the Comedy Ring, and BC, and Ravi and Adrian Joseph, and they do a big job out there. And Ravi was watching the whole thing, and he's like, I didn't even watch the news. I just watched the Superman News Network, SNN. And I was like, thanks, buddy. And it was the same thing with the Seattle riots. If you ever go to my YouTube page, you'll see like 6 hours of footage. I was down there for about 8.
Okay.
And so I'm literally standing in the middle when the cars are burning. I watched them set 4 cars on fire. It was, you know what I mean? Like you can't pay for that. And then to see the people who are actually breaking the windows, not just the black people running out with stuff because it's already broken and we've been maced for 8 hours, but the fact it's little anarchists and the little, you know, what are they called? Antifa fuckers. Because really they just try to fuck up everything, right? But they're just breaking shit. And where did you get this massive battering ram? Because you didn't just find this on the side of the street. You brought it with you, obviously.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like that wasn't just sitting there. And then even like in the cities where they showed like there were bricks laying out and they laid out a pile of bricks right before a fucking riot. Are you kidding me? Who just leaves a pile of bricks out the night before a riet? Like,
it's like a video game and they're setting up their tools. They're leaving their little, you know, you go to treasure hunt. Oh, bricks. Oh, I guess we throw these. Like,
and if you're Caucasian, you get the riot booster pack. You get a face mask, right? A couple of grenades, a taser, and you have a gas mask already, right? Like it's a trip. And so to go down there and really see what's going on. And then, you know, I'm a bigger guy, so I'm not really worried about, you know, the violence or any of that. I'm 6'2", 270. Right. I can, you know what I mean, hold my own. But there was none of that. There was also a disappointment, like, fuck, that's all that happened. We had a good time. I don't know if you saw it, but there was one point we're not going to get one scuffle. Like, come on, get up one white guy for me.
Sorry. It just went too smooth, I guess. I mean, they had a gajillion, you know, military people there, and everybody was all upset because they were sleeping on the floor. I'm like, these are fucking army people. They sleep in the bush. They sleep in the wherever there's a war. They sleep you know, it's dry, it's warm. Like I mean, we're Canadian. We camp all the time, so I don't know. I was like sleeping on the floor with my friends. That's all right. Like hanging out with my buddies, sleeping on the floor. That's not the worst thing ever. It seems like you have a decent handle on the transition that our industry, this comedy industry, is making, largely because of this pandemic, forcing comics to become creative with Instagram and social media and Facebook and all those things and this YouTube stuff. And I mean, what we're doing right now, literally doing a podcast, we're two basically more or less strangers, and you're 5,000 miles away, and we get to be together today. Like, that's pretty freaking amazing on its own. But you seem to have a handle on, or somewhat of a handle on, what's happening with this change. Can you share with us what you see happening and what maybe you think is some of the things we should be, you know, striving for when we're trying to make content and become creators?
So there's 2 things, and one of them, they're both things I was doing beforehand and kind of just transitioned over. And it's consistency and diversity and inclusion. And if you've looked at what I do, or you see SuitmanComedy.com, or you go to my website, first off, we're consistent. Every week, Suitman has something going on, right? And then everything that we do is based on diversity and inclusion. And what I mean by that is your customer sees nothing but, it always sounds so white and black, but that's a lot of what it is they see a ton of white comedy, white entertainment, white this, white that. You're in Canada, so you have a high East Indian market, right? And you have a lot of Native Americans and maybe not as many black people, but there's a target for that, right? Or even people who are sober, or people who are, Jesus, what else do I got? I got a deaf show, I got a sober show, I got a mixed show, I got a woman show, a black woman show, right? So when you're doing your content, like, think about who you're doing it for. And I guess that's the major one, is so many people think like an entertainer, not a producer. A producer has to think about the people on the back end, right? You may be funny, the producer at Disney, right? But if they didn't think you were good for their audience, right, you wouldn't get signed. Are people really thinking about their audience when they produce a show? Are they thinking about who's going to be their market or who their sponsors could be or who they could build business with, right? So, and the biggest one has been trying to be consistent, do something every week, put out original content. And then the second one is really thinking from an audience's point of view. A lot of people go, well, why do you do an all black woman show? Or why do you do an all woman show? Or why are you doing these demographics? And it's so the consumer who's sitting in their house knows what they're getting. I don't want to pay for a lineup and end up getting offended for $5, $6, $7 when I'm sitting in my own home, right? By somebody on my fucking TV screen.
Right.
And I don't think people get that, right? Like on these Zoom shows, you're in their house.
Yeah. I don't get that. I mean, I'll be honest, because I lie most of the time, but I'll be honest today. When I think of inclusion in shows, I think about like, my first thought was, and I know that I'm super young in this game, so like my thoughts will change over time and go back and forth to different things, I'm sure. But at first I thought like, well, if you're only having a black only show, then that's a show that I can't go on. You know, I don't identify as, you know, I'm not a black guy, like I'm a white guy. So like, or like if it's an LGBTQ show, it's like, that's cool. Like I like, you know, lesbians, gays, everybody, like I'm Canadian, so I pretty much love everybody, but there's no straights on that show. But like, I could probably make some gay people laugh, and some gay people definitely can make me laugh. So then I think about it that way. But then I'm like, but then my other brain goes, I honestly don't give a fuck what anybody does. And if you want to do a show with only fucking, you know, green leprechauns, then I live in a world where you should be allowed to do whatever the fuck you want to do. So make a show with just green leprechauns. So it's almost like my little ego or my little like, you know, something in my brain was like, wait, right? And you can see it sizzling. And then, but my more like bolder self or bigger self, like more mature self goes like, wait a second, I don't care. Like if you want to do all women shows, do all women shows. Like, cool. Then if I don't want to watch it, don't watch it.
What? Are you kidding me? Fuck! Can we record that and put that on displays for all the fucking white guys that are losing their shit on me every day and losing their like? It's real simple. And what they don't get is 90% of mainstream media. We feel the opposite. We feel like I'm 17 of us are competing to be the one black guy when there's 5 white guys on the show. 17 are competing to us for that one woman slot. Do you guys, you know what I mean? Like I don't. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I was really sitting over here like this son of a bitch. That's how he feels. Don't say it. Don't say it. But the maturity in you came out, right? I'm the same thing. Do you know how mad I've been at some of the opportunities I don't get? Right. Not at all. At first I was, and then I went, that's not my fucking lane. Then I started creating. And then I'm not really a comedian. I'm a decent comedian, but I'm a great producer. That's where I found my niche. That's why I'm on this show. Okay. It's not because of my comedy, like you said. So I'd be an idiot to sit here and be like, oh, I'm just this wonderful comedian. I'm decent. I'm good. I found my niche. But no, I'm a great producer. And it's that thinking that's getting me the notoriety, that's gotten me sit here in front of you, that makes me different, right? So it's thinking like a producer that as a comedian could put you that step ahead. Could put you that step ahead, even though you're not going to produce shows, but understanding roles and understanding I need somebody who loves being the bullet. What do you mean by that? I think you've seen me be the bullet a couple times. I don't give a shit. I go just as hard number 1 as I do 17, right? And then I've got a particular setup always going to do if I'm number 1 because I need to get the certain level of energy up, right? So I always do Duante, Gainel, you know, masters, fuck my students, I want to hear get it that. In, get it out. I can say the tags on these jokes, and Brent's over here like, I've heard that. I know what he's talking about, right? But that's the idea, is the consistency, right? So, you know, when you have a passion about certain things, you learn it. And then I listened to a couple of old cats. I got 2 old comedians I got to shout out. James Hennigan and Cliff Barnes in the Seattle market have been doing comedy a combined years, like 70 years. 37 for one, 34 for the other, right? And so these were the first guys that took me under my wing. Every time I'd go to an open mic, I'd be smoking pot and cigarettes with them every time. And there's comics who don't even have the balls to say hello to these guys, if you get what I mean. I know what you mean. And so these guys took me under my wing, and they're like, you're a pretty funny fucker, but what are you going to do with it? And this was like 2 or 3 months in. I remember Clef told me this shit. You're pretty funny. What are you going to do with it, big guy? And I had no clue what he meant, right? Now I know, like, I've got this whole drive and brand and following, and I'm trying to change how comedy's done. But at first, you just want to be funny. And then do you figure out, do you want to be funny to everybody, or do you want to be a douchebag funny? Like, you can be funny, you can be a fucking prick at the same time. And that's cool. And there's a whole bunch of edlords out there that are going to think you're funny too, but Disney's not going to give you a contract, and people aren't going to want to sponsor you, and you're probably never going to evolve and have fame and be a brand. You're just going to be that asshole from Tacoma that everybody thinks funny, right? Cool, great, all right. And then you're probably going to be a gatekeeper at that point too, because you want to tell everybody how you're funny, and you've been doing comedy for 8 years, but you're a douchebag. I love how
sounds
David's
like
back there snickering, and Bennett, I see them. They
sounds like
Go ahead,
sorry. No, it sounds like you've met this guy a couple times. You've seen this guy around. This, 8 years in, still in the same, still in the same club, in the same suit, telling the same jokes, and and when you're 1 year in, you should not say those things, because people will just be like, fucking rookie, when you should be speaking like that about other comics, but you can see it, and I feel like I'm kind of old, to be starting comedy. I'm in my mid 40s, and it's but I have a different perspective, and it's I see these younger dudes and what they're doing, and they're making all this crazy content and putting out funny memes and making me laugh and doing funny TikToks and all these things that I barely know anything about, that I'm just learning. I see that, but then I'm also kind of old, and I'm looking at the people that are my age and older and going how can I bridge that gap? How can I make people at home, watch comedy and feel like they're in the same experience that they would be if they were in a comedy club? So I think about, small audience, sharing that energy, and then putting, live streaming out so other people can watch along with it as a voyeur, not as an individual Zoom audience member. Trying to figure that out.
Word, voyeur. Yeah. Just watch. I just want to watch. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's a trigger word for you,
right? Is this supposed to be funny too? I couldn't help it. Fuck you, all right? Don't fucking judge me, you guys. Shit.
No, judge me, please. It's funnier if you judge me.
Spank me, choke me, call me names. No, I'm glad you brought that up. If you watch a show of mine, and I'm braggadocious on this, I'm overconfident. I don't give a fuck. It's my brand, right? I feel like if you watch a Superman show, you'll have that feeling, because I only book good people.
Right.
Let's go back. Did you hear what word I said? It wasn't the F word. It wasn't the funny word. It was the what word? Good people.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can't do this and have a good time if Bennett thinks David's an asshole and Brent's shitting on you guys all the time. There's going to be this awkward energy, and Bennett and David wouldn't be even paying attention and giving me any response, because they're just here to be here, right? And if I didn't like you, or I had bad energy, or was a dickhead or a douchebag, and that energy came in the room, we're not going to have as much fun, right? We're not going to free fall. We're not going to free talk. You're not going to ask me the hard question, because I might get mad and shame you and all these fucking things, right? So I would really talk to you about booking good people. I talked to another young producer in Canada. I don't know if you know Elijah Posick. He's a young guy trying to start producing in Canada. I forget. I always think Canada's like a state.
I know, we're so big.
You guys are way bigger than us, but we think you guys like a state. That's the American, you know what I mean? Our attitude, everybody in Canada knows Canada. No, that's not how it works.
There's more people in LA than live in Canada. So we're just spread the fuck out. We're we're everywhere.
It's just, that's our ignorance. We just you're in Canada. You must know this other guy. But I really argued with him about the idea of booking good people over funny. And when you think of atmosphere and you think of your audience experience, you want everybody to have a what? Good time. Right?
Correct. Yeah.
Are we talking great time or good time? Good time.
Well, they're sitting in their living room,
Yeah. They're not going to have a great time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's only going to be a good time. And even when they're coming into your club, I want consistency. I want everybody to have a good time. Some people are going to have a great time, but I can't afford to have anybody to have a what? Bad time.
Shitty time. Yeah.
Right. So having a balanced lineup, having a couple shitty comics that you think are shitty are going to help you out because you just don't think they're funny. They may be funny to other people, right? But if everybody's a good person, everybody will go up on stage with good energy. Everybody will feel confident in themselves. And then the audience members that showed up for good people
Yeah.
usually are in a better mood to laugh than those who show up for funny people because they expect a certain thing. And so this is just the mind fuck of thinking about the audience instead of thinking about your own routine and being funny. Is that if your friends come to support you and then you're not that good of a comedian, and sorry Brent, you're a year in, so if you did one of my shows, you'd be a question mark for me in real life,
For
right?
sure.
But I know you've got 10, 15 friends that decide to come out. Now, whether you're good or not, what are those 10, 15 friends' expectations are just to support you, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're the weakest comic on that show, just saying, not saying you are, but say you were,
Yeah.
they're going to stay the whole show. And then do you know what I'm not going to do, Brent? I'm not going to put you first. I'm going to put you somewhere in the middle because I try to put good talent up front and then a little bit lesser talent and then good, and I mix it up, right? So now your friends are forced to stay. So they're going to stay the whole show. And their expectations for you were down here. So when they see all these funny people, what are they going to do? They're going to have a really good fucking time.
Right. And they're going to associate that with me.
Bingo! Whoa, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's happy, right? And everybody's making money and everybody's had a good time. And the reason why is because you're giving somebody a chance to get on stage who can get audience members there. And those audience members there aren't expecting everybody to be funny. They just want to have a good time. And next thing you know, you have a couple funny people with people who are new and have brought people. And next thing you know, this thing's a fucking party because your friends are laughing for you. And so the rest of the room's laughing for you. Everybody's laughing for the naturally funny people. And since you don't have any dickhead douchebags who only care about being funny and they're not there to talk to other people or give some advice, it's a great atmosphere.
Have you found that a lot of these Zoom shows, see, like I did like my backstory, like I did like about 50 live sets and then we were locked down. And then since then I did about 50 Zoom sets, more or less, somewhere like that. So like in a weird way, it's like I literally am like, I'm like when cell phones just came out. Like I'm like that. Like I'm like new cell phone. Like
I heard you. Yeah, when you said I've been doing comedy for a year, I was like, so you're Zoom comic. Not like in a bad way, but that was my first internal thought was, okay, most of your experience is Zoom. Go ahead,
Yeah. So like that's kind of like, so it's this weird thing. So like, but like it feels like the Zoom shows that I've done so far anyways, have lacked for me a bit of chatter of like, you know, some energy transferring back and forth from different comics or, you know, like I find watching a show where there's 4 people like we are here. I know that Bennett and David are quiet today. It's the Monday morning meeting. They're nervous. Everybody's on lockdown. Everybody could be laid off by the end of the meeting. We don't know, you know. It's tough. David's literally in a bubble room, locked down. He's had a COVID scare last week, so he's just happy he doesn't have air aids. He's just happy.
I'm a jock nerd. I can tell. Half of me is like you guys. You see, I'm in my room on unemployment pushing my brand. I ain't going nowhere either. Fucking shit.
So, yeah, but I just find I find there isn't enough interaction. Like I can't like chirp you. I can't like be like, you know, nice braids, loser. Like, you know, like in the middle of my like.
You can. It's like if and it's not being braggadocious again. Go watch the Superman show. Watch one from front to end. We're usually having a good time, especially if I'm the host. Last night on the Soul Sister Sunday show, it's my black women, so I don't mind heckling them as much, and I have a different relationship with my black comedians, and I do my white counterparts because you know we're fighting the same struggle, and I'm not going to interrupt my white host who runs her own company and would probably be offended. Whereas on my Soul Sister Sundays, they all give me the respect of knowing this is my shit. And so we're going to talk back and forth. And so like the ominous voice, I talk shit on my last show. We were having fun and we're going back and forth. A lot of that comes with the atmosphere that is being created. Not saying any names, but there's a certain person who does a show and you get that same 15-minute speech and it's serious fuck. And he says the same thing every time. And it's like, dude, like, I've heard this 12 times, dude. Like,
think of something new.
Yeah,
I think whether you're sitting at home or whether you're live, which is something I'm going to talk to you guys about here just a second right now, is that creating that energy, creating an atmosphere is something that I'm really good at live. Like I host, I'm not a good host of comedy, but like I'm a good host. You come to my house, I take care of you. You be sorted out. Like, you come to my house, any guest that comes in, and I've owned restaurants and bars. So if you're in my restaurant, you're my family. You're taken care of, and so I can't wait to do live comedy again. It looks like post February 8th. Looks like they're going to be moving our restrictions from Hellfire, where we are now, to one step back to where we're allowed to have 25 people in our studio.
Same here.
So
We're at 25% as of today. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are in that similar. So we're going to be able to do live shows again, starting up in about 2 weeks. And so we get to plan those. And I'm excited because I got to host one of those so far. And my goal is to host that series of shows. The first show we did, we ended up having about 10 comics show up, and 6 or 7 of them signed a release so we could put it on our YouTube channel. And so we're trying to figure out what's a good way to, promote and make that show into a real show, and giving other comedians the opportunity to be up and actually get some exposure. But then immediately we had some pushback from comics going like, well, I don't want my stuff being shown. And I'm like, okay, like, then don't sign it.
Yeah,
We won't
like,
put your 5 minutes up. We'll put everybody else's. But I don't know if this is like a new thing. So how do you think that's going to work?
It's funny. I don't get any of this shit. I just assume and do it. And I was told I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me when I say this. Do business on your terms. And that's the answer. We're going to do business on your terms, and people are either going to jump in or they're not. There's so many different avenues. There's so many different ways to produce shows. There's so many different ways to capture an audience. I think we get so caught up in being righteous and how we're doing it that we slight how others do it, right? And even myself, right? Like, people feel slighted when I posted, the days of 3 white guys doing 2 hours are obsolete. And they're like, that's racist. What's racist? That's not racist. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between racism and talking business and talking demographics and talking change, right? And if you want to do your 2-hour show with 3 white guys, guess what? Go ahead and do it. I'm not going to protest it, right? But I'm going to tell you there's a change in what we should be doing out here, because there's more than just Caucasians on TV, right? Now, that may not be a big fight in Canada. It's not always a big fight everywhere else. But we know if you turn on the average comedian or the average sitcom, what are we going to see? White culture. That is not everybody. So if you're going to do business, you do business for other people. Not everybody's going to want to go to a show. With how small I am now, I've only been producing shows for 2 years. I've been in comedy for 2.5, but I found my niche being a producer, right?
Right.
And I'm very good at it. And that's what I talk about. I don't tell people how to do comedy. I tell people how to produce shows, right? Because that's where my niche is, right? And when it comes to producing, not everybody's going to go back to a club, right? Some people want to be at home. The Lounge at Boise, Idaho, they do $5 live stream of their show. And they also put it in the comments, you know what I mean, and do it live. So you could pay to be, do you want to have extra pay? Because we go live with this. So there's no way around you being live. So if you're going to be on our show, you're going to be live.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, you don't want to be on our show? Great. That's where it goes back to worrying about having good people versus funny people. Because I don't give a fuck if you're funny. If nobody's paying to watch the stream, what are you adding? You're not adding revenue.
Yeah.
It's actually people who bring people that make me revenue, not people who are funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's... Am I wrong here?
It's a tough pill to swallow, because you're like, just get funny, just learn your cadence, learn how to fucking pause.
No, fuck you. That's what people do to keep you as a fucking gatekeeper. And that's what people are doing to you to keep you from moving up, right? If you could bring 1,000 people every time you went to a show in any city, do you have to be funny?
Well, that's the whole David, Instagram.
David, answer that fucking question.
You don't have to be funny at all. You don't have to be funny at all. If you can bring 1,000 people to a show, you could just stand up there and not even say anything the whole time.
Who fucking cares?
Nobody.
If you can bring 1,000 people to a show, you can go up there and go, "Hey guys, Glad you guys are all here. Hey, why don't you guys meet Soup Man? He brought like 5 friends. You guys know I'm not fucking funny, but I'm gonna be here. He brought his friends. Let's all have a laugh.
Funny.
Let's have a party.
Yeah.
That Bennett's even smiling. Yeah. Bennett's ready to. I got Bennett to speak to. All right, yeah. Woo, right.
It's amazing because he's a mute. I can't believe that he said something. He almost spoke.
He did. He said, "Yeah." I heard a yeah. Am I wrong, Bennett? Though?
Oh no, not at all. It's $5 a head if you can bring 1,000 friends. It's a huge night for the club or for like comedians, right? Like
that's $5,000. That's not bad at all.
Oh yeah.
Hey, what's
well, our club only holds 50 people. So what are we gonna do?
Zoom.
$10 a head.
Live stream.
They'll stream it. Stream it, motherfucker. Stream it.
Hey, hello, right? Now you can stream it at a fucking $1 and you've got another 4,500. Fuck.
Right.
That's my thing, right? And like even talking with you guys. When I talk to people, I'm hoping they're assuming that they know now Soup Man's gonna want to come out to Ontario, right? And
hell yeah.
You go, exactly. Hell yeah, right?
Yeah.
And imagine having a lineup where you don't have to do anything but just serve the beer, and I've got this diversity week for you. It may not sound like a big deal to you, but you get what I'm saying. If for a whole week everybody knew they were going to get represented, the week would sell out. If for a week you had nothing but a diverse lineup and people from all over the North America representing black and gay, representing mixed, representing women, representing black women, representing black people, and doing a deaf show at the end that's an all-star of all of those where deaf community can come and catch comedy. What club's doing that?
There isn't.
Fuck.
There isn't any that are putting those things together.
Soup Man Productions is motherfuckers. Watch your mouth.
Well, that's it, right?
Right.
Well, that's exciting. That it's like when you look at it, it's like it's like a festival. It's like doing a comedy festival, but for niche markets. It makes sense. I mean, if it makes dollars, it makes sense. When I thought about it more and more, I was like, if you put a comedy show together with 6 comics and and one of them's gay, one of them's black and gay, one of them's a lesbian, one of them's me, one of them's Asian dude, one of them's like a girl with a dirty mouth. Any comic doesn't matter. So you take that show of 6. It's like, well, you know what? Like I love my lesbian sisters. I got 2 of them. They're lesbian sisters. They're awesome, and they don't want to watch me, let alone the other 4 people that were doing a show with. They really don't. They will because they love me and they're gonna watch my shit. But they'd rather watch what they like. So they want to watch, so that makes sense. So it's like, it's a mind fuck a little bit for me, but I totally get it.
But it's a mind fuck for all white entertainers. It's a mind fuck for all white people when I talk like this, because they don't get that the majority of what we see is white entertainment. They don't get that there's one BET. There's like 17 Spanish channels, them fuckers. There's a lot of them. Right? You get what I mean? That's not racist. It's true. There's Univision. There's Gala. There's fuck it. I'm getting canceled.
They do a good job.
I'm not going
oh dear, you're done.
Now, right?
You're out.
I pissed off the whites.
I don't even know that guy. I never met him before. I don't know him. Just
let him go, right?
Let him go.
On the record, right? Just let this go, right? But the truth is that people don't think about that, right? Like, why was Black Panther such a big deal? And why did so many white people hate that there was finally a black superhero? Like, are you serious? Black people can't be superheroes? We can't have one? You know what I mean?
I always thought Batman was black, so... or he should have been. I mean, he should have been.
Dude, no, he'd have been shot. That's why he wasn't black. I did a whole series. You can't have a black vigilante. They shoot those. Yeah. They shot the guy. They always kill the black guy with the gun, let alone let him beat up 5 white people. Oh, the black guy did it. They were just trying to stop him. Are you kidding me? Oh God, sorry. I digress. Hey, I see David laughing. That'll work. I got David again. But it's the truth, you know what I mean? And then it's not so much, I guess that's where the ego kicks in, right? Because do you know what really started Soup Man? Was seeing all the white comedy and seeing all the LGBTQ comedy and not seeing anything for black people in my market.
Okay.
In the Seattle, there's no, like Nate Jackson, who's this great comedian. He's going to be on NBC for The Rock's show about him growing up with his dad, right? He's huge. He built this huge 500-seat comedy club in Tacoma, which isn't Seattle, but is in Tacoma. And you don't build a 500-seat comedy club for the minor leagues. You build it for the majors, right? So the thought that that's going to be our club and they're going to do black open mics is ignorant, right? Like, that's not the business model. He's built this club to bring in national talent, right? So we literally have no hub. You get what I mean?
Mm.
But there's the white comedy scene. There's Broadway, which is majorly LGBTQ, and it was like, there's no black comedy scene. There's no place where we can get a show. There's no lineup of 6 or 7 local young black comics, and fuck it, let's do it. And then it was, well, I'm mixed, and the black community always reminds me of that, and the white community knows I'm not white, but there's actually not a show for mixed people either. And I got a whole bunch of us mixing together and did the first Mixed and Misidentified. First off, we had 25 different flags, because I put the flag of your nationalities on there. So there were 25 cultures represented between us 20 comics. And then we had 88 people show up. And I used to complain. I complained to my friend, and this is going to be assaulting, about how I was only averaging 80 people a show. And I was pissing and moaning about how I wasn't getting 135 every week. You know what my friend said to me, which is something you can identify with? She goes, fucker, there's some clubs that don't even hold 80 people. Shut up.
It's so true. So
right? Because I can see Brent's face braces.
Yeah.
What are you complaining about, bitch? We don't hold 80. We hold 50.
Yeah.
I wish I had to turn away 30 people a night, right?
We're on lockdown. That's it.
Yeah, right? So when you think about these things, it's all about perspective. Now, the reason why I talked about that show, do you know what most of my audience was? Asian people.
Huh.
Because a lot of Asian people aren't all one Asian. They're Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai, Vietnamese, Laos, and all this. And our ignorance is they're all the same. They're not. And then I had I had 3 or 4 comics that were mixed Asian. Like, one was Chinese, Mexican, another one's Filipino and Thai. And they've really identified with our jokes. And so when you give those type of people representation, and then the following is different. The repeat referral business is different. It's no longer, hey, we got to go to Superman shows. They're all about diversity. It was all of a sudden, it was, hey, when are you doing Mixed and Misidentified again? My friends missed out. I want to bring my mom. When you did Dark Brew? Like, we had an all-black lineup, and you really don't say the N-word on here. You added a couple white people to make it fair, and it was a good time. Oh yeah, I had 2 white people on. It's a good pun. I call them my affirmative action hires. I totally I raped the shit out. I treat them like I treat them the way they treated us. And you get. So I'll tell you a story. This one's funny. So I do a show in Boise, Idaho. We're doing another one in April, right? And I got 2 nights. I'm doing WAP and Dark Brew. So I'm doing my black comedy show in an all-woman lineup in Idaho, one of the most racist cities.
Is your woman show called WAP?
Right? And so when I went down there last time, we had another white comedian from my area doing a typical show with him headlining, another white guy in front of him opening, and a host who's a white guy or white girl, right? So no inclusion, nothing. They said they found a funny comedian who was black and said, hey, can you give him a guest spot? And I'm like, he can't do your show? So the night of my show, I bring 9 black people on stage. I don't think Idaho's ever had that many black people perform, right? And he asked me to do a shout out at the end of my show for his. And so during the show, I'm drunk. It's the end of the show. Oh, if you want to see something that's exact opposite of what you saw tonight, come on back. Corey's throwing a show with a white guy, and a white girl. So if you want to see the exact opposite of what you saw tonight, come on back tomorrow. And the whole crowd died because it's black people. They don't give a shit about your white show tomorrow, Corey. Are you serious? Like, they only came here to see us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what you said. Is like, if you had a show that had 5 different people from 5 different categories, and your lesbian friend came to see a lesbian comic, she loves you, but she really wouldn't want to see you. She'd want to see that lesbian comic. And odds are the black guy's going to probably offend her, and somebody else in the lineup might offend her, so she might not even come. So why not make a show that they know they can be comfortable about? Everybody's going to be funny, and it's all going to strike their humor.
Yeah, and I think that's taking the idea about, removing yourself, like like changing from the idea of an individual to a producer. And just like you said, which is a great thing to think about and resonate with, about thinking about that audience. I've got this empty comedy club here. We're going to be allowed to do comedy soon. I'm excited to host a show. I want to host a show on the Wednesday, and but I'm building the place because I want a stage to work on, right? Like, I'm greedy, I'm selfish. I have this weird, bizarre life that has me, with this thing that I have now. So I'm going to use it, start from where I am, and this is where I am. So, but at the same time, I know that I want to facilitate comedy for other people. And so now it's like, I need to let go of control and let others plan and do shows on some of those other nights, and just be hands off, right? But we don't have a business model that makes money. So our business model currently is we make content, we don't make money. So like when we do shows, we have the show sponsored, we have a beer sponsor, and I kick in for some food or whatever. Like we just, because we're not
Hold on,
like,
stop,
I don't.
Stop, time out. I'm not paying nobody. Hold
Right.
on. When we're in real life, right, you got 3% of the door. And for a 10-minute set, that ranged anywhere from, it was as little as $10 when we got 30 people there, to as much as, I think $30 to $40, right? When we sold out. Now you got $30 for 10 minutes. I don't give a fuck what you say. That's
Right.
not my problem. You have no complaint when you get $30 for 10 minutes. It's just, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And then you got 2 drink tickets and it's a party, right? I was taking home, I think on the best show, I took home $1,000, right? Was that one? The other one I made like $700 or $800, right? But I'm also the host, the producer, doing the artwork, paying everybody. You know what I mean? Like, you do it. So when people are worried about money, you're not. Why do I owe you money?
Well, you don't owe me money, but when I host shows here, I've been in the restaurant business long enough to tell you that, like, 20 people sitting in an audience watching a comedy show, they don't have the capacity to spend enough money for me to ever make any. So I'm good with the fact. I'm like, I'm never getting money here.
No,
so
I'm not talking
if you
about
come
you.
here,
I'm talking about the talent.
well, this is where I have to create a way for talent to get paid, right? So currently, the idea is we have sponsors. We get sponsors for different things. So as we build our brand and we become more popular as a comedy club and as a studio, but we don't host comedy. We're not a comedy club like when you think about traditional comedy club. We're a studio with a live studio audience. So whether we put 30 people in our studio audience, or our maximum capacity would be like 80. So, but like say 30s in our with COVID lockdown, we got 30 people in our audience. We've got 7-8 comics. They're going to go through a rotation. They're going to come up and do, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on where they're at and their, how much time they're able to do. And that's our show. So those comics that came up, like, I haven't generated any revenue per se at this point. So, I mean, I'm not going to have a ton of money to give those guys. But the idea is we create this content. This content goes out in the world. Eventually we get enough views that somebody pays for a commercial or some bullshit. Or I get like a movie role with Jack Black because they decide to make a movie with 2 fat, short, funny white guys. Probably not going to happen. But if it does, I get $8 million and then this all makes sense. Like, I don't know.
So here's what I would say is I believe in what you're doing, and it's something that is great. I'm not saying this to attack you. These are all things I'm trying to get you to own up and say, this is mine, fuck you, this is how we're doing it. Now think about it. You've got a space where people can BYOB, they can smoke pot, they could bring their own cooler. You don't have to regulate them drinking or what they're drinking or if they brought stuff, correct?
Potentially.
Right? So you're
certain rules in Canada.
No, but you're not selling any of these things, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, if somebody wanted to come bust you and say that they're smoking weed and he's doing a comedy show, well, I mean, this is a private event. I'm not selling weed. They brought their own.
It's a movie set. I mean, we're at a movie set here. That's what we are.
Exactly. You get what I mean? Like you're not promoting this stuff, right?
No, we're closed set.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, you're sitting on a fucking gym. Dude, I got so much. We're going to talk so much. I'm going to send you so much. I just want my 10, 15%. Put my logo on it. Right? I'm being serious. Just put the Suitman logo on it. You'll run shows
Give
that
me
are
some
mine.
points.
I'll give you all the ideas, right? I got the flyer lady, and we'll make money. Don't worry.
Nice.
I got ideas for this spot. But my point to you is, you've got an opportunity, and I just want you to hear this because you're thinking the right way. I told somebody the other day, I know Suitman's going to be successful because it's no longer about me.
Right.
I'm doing shows that I don't do anything but run, like David, and I don't even get to say anything on my Raw or Solstice to Sundays. Now I'm doing Laughing Through Recovery. I'm not sober, and I haven't went through recovery, so I don't get to do anything on that but produce it, right? I'm going to be doing a newbie show. On the newbie show, I'm not going to host it either. And if we're going to do a show with newbies like yourself, Brent, I probably should let somebody who's a little bit less veteran than me host it, right? And let some new hosts get some work, right? See how you start doing things for the vision of what you wanted, not for what you are anymore, because you're no longer a new comic. You don't need stage time. You've got it, right?
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. That's literally all you got to do. Keep thinking about other people, and it'll grow. Yeah. And you're a step ahead of me. Imagine if I had a place, if I had your place right now. Oh fuck, I wouldn't even care. I'd be so pumped. But I do have your place. We can work together. I'll tell you what to run.
Absolutely.
I'll see who I can find in Canada. We'll run some of the shows up there. You know what I mean? We'll work together, right? And then maybe one day I could come to Canada, right? Fuck.
Without question, you have to come to Canada. But do you think that there's I mean, obviously you must. I mean, there's got to be legs on this business from a perspective of like being able, and I'm not, and as you said, I'm not talking about me. I'm good. I'm straight. Like, you know, I don't need to do any of this shit. Like, I'm doing this because I want to. Like, if we need to make money, I would rent this out to a fucking hair salon and I'd make $3,000 a month, and you know, life is good.
Take it, walk away, yeah.
Right? Like there's no logical, like, monetary reason to do any of the things that we're doing, right? David will attest to this.
Yeah.
But
I can attest to
but there must be, in some bigger vision way, there has to be some way that a producer, like, we're going to film all these shows. Somebody's going to pay for it at some point, don't you think? Tell me, please. Give me some hope.
So I'll tell you, I just got my first sponsor. My homegirl who believes in what I'm doing, and that's why I said you got to find a vision. You got to find a message. You know what I mean? You got to find a following. You got to create a following. So why am I able to finally ask for a sponsor? Well, I can go to my page on Suitman Productions, and I can look at the statistics, and I reach 12,000 people a month.
Nice. Those are some good numbers.
That's with been doing 1 or 2 shows a month, not 6 to 7 to 8. Last night, I had my Solstice to Sundays had reached 1,500 people. It was engaged by 131 and had over 500 3-second views or more. Right? Last month, I took a week off. So from January 4th, right, to January 31st, right, I had 8,700 people I reached, 1,400 post engagements, 7,100 new likes. I've got 1,000 followers, 1,000 likers, and 1,100 followers.
So everything lives inside that internet. Everything lives inside that social media world.
Right?
Like,
now
that's
imagine,
it, right? Like,
yeah, that's just, then that doesn't include what, you know, the Twitter sees, because I don't track what I do. I mean, on my Instagram, and I could show you there's, you know, some views on YouTube and stuff, right? But this is people that you're getting in front of, right? That doesn't track my personal posts, and that's just what the Suitman Productions page is bringing.
Right.
You can tell people that you're getting those kind of views, and now you can advertise their product to a niche market. Because I'm working with a black woman, right? And I'm working with black women on Solstice to Sundays, and my friend runs a holistic company where they do sage and all this stuff that black women love to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, hold on one second. I had to confirm my booking. So when you have a niche market, or you can say who you're getting in front of, or you have your demographics, you can tell your advertiser who they're going to get in front of. Jesus, who's moving a table? You can tell your advertiser who they're getting in front of and what's going on, right?
Yeah.
And so if you can give them that and tell them what kind of audience they're going to be looking at and who they've got and what they're doing, now you can ask for sponsorship money. When you can tell them how many people they're going to get in front of and what that demographic is and what's that age group is, now you can ask for money. right? When you're putting out a show every week and you're putting out a flyer every week and you're seeing 50 people in my studio, I'm giving away your swag. Here's some of my stickers. You can ask for money, right?
Mm,
And so you have to literally build it before you can start asking for money.
yeah. Hmm.
You got a
That makes
question there,
sense.
David?
Yeah.
I see.
I have
see
something.
it.
I have something I want to say. I want to jump in for a second. I think you said a lot of really cool stuff. I think, um, in terms of money, like what you were saying about realigning everything so that your vision is for other people. It's not for yourself. Like you're not looking for. You're trying to help other people, like with the shows and stuff that you're doing. You're trying to give other people that aren't you something that they can enjoy watching, and I think that's what makes it scalable. Because like if you're looking for sponsors and you have a business that's focused on like other people and making them laugh and giving them something they want to see, then when you go to a sponsor, you're not asking them for money for you. You're asking them for money for your vision, which will help other people. And so like if it's just for, like if you're just focused on yourself, then when you are going to get an investor, you have to be really good. Like it has to be like, okay, you are going to be this big talent. Whereas if you build something more like what you've done, it's like this could be big and we could blow this up and have different black hosts or, whatever.
Yes! You fucking get it! The fucking epiphany of what I'm trying to fucking do!
Perfect. And you're going to be a better producer, Dave, because of this.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be, pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
No, and I don't mean that like that, but I told somebody the other day when I was on this trip to Boston, I was like, I feel like I'm about to take shit over. And I fucking mean that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean like on a small scale. Like I plan on running shit. And this conversation with you actually embodies what I just told somebody.
Yeah.
They said, what do you see yourself doing in 5 years? And I said, I'm going to have Suitman's Soiree. I'm going to have this club somewhere that's mine. And all it does is run Suitman shows because everything I do is diverse. But I'm going to let a ton of different people who meet those criteria run them and book them. I'm just going to get my 10, 15% off everything.
Yeah, because it's so much bigger than just you, right? Like,
bingo.
And I've been craving that so much. I've been craving having, that's part of the whole bullshit. We're in lockdown, whatever. But I've been craving desperately to not be looking in a fucking mirror every day. Like I need other people just to be around, other funny people, comics, like-minded, happy people to be around. And so this everything that we're doing here, it's been a great ride so far. And, we got to film a big special and we got to do all this crazy stuff. And it's been a great ride this year, but it's really more so now. I think I'm really feeling that vibe. Like we have to transition now. We've done as much Brent stuff as we're going to do for a minute. Now we have to really focus on making more, like creating more opportunities to get more comics in here so we can feed off that energy and have some fucking fun.
Because you'll still get loads of opportunities to be on stage.
That's what I was going to end with is they said, what's the second? And I said, the second half of my vision is I make these connections because in 5 years or in 5 months, guess what? I have an enhanced license. I can drive across the border to BC and fly to Canada. I don't need my passport. I can drive across the border and now fly to anywhere I want to be. So I can get to you guys. I can drive.
Nice.
Not only that, in 5 years, once a quarter, we're doing a Suitman weekend at your club. And once a quarter, I'm
dressed up for you today, buddy. I don't usually dress like this.
Hey,
I got ready for you.
You knew what fucking time it was when you see.
I know what time it is.
Usually I have the curl. I went with the braids, right? But you know what I mean? You knew what fucking time it was. And I kind of joke about that, but I also say, you've heard me say when you see the curl, you know what fucking time it is, right? A lot of these things are jokes, but you've got to really believe in them. And so you guys, I'm showing you right now, but here's the logo for you guys that haven't seen it yet. Yeah, that's me. If I have my curl out, that's me, ain't it, right? So when you see the logo, anybody who's seen the logo, they're going to be, oh, fuck, Suitman's in Ontario? That motherfucker's crazy. And what you don't know is I've got 6 million hits on YouTube for cut videos. You know what I'm talking about, Brent? The cut videos I do?
No, but I'm going to watch them.
Fuck! Go to my site and click. So I've done 6 different videos and one launched last week. And it's already got 100,000 on YouTube and like 45,000 on Facebook. And it's me guessing if people are in a frat. And they called me Mr. Suit. They call me the Black Seth Rogen. I sound just like him. Everybody's asking. Like
He's Canadian.
Yeah, but I've got fan quests asking for me to get in the same room as Black Seth Rogen. And oh my God, if these two guys could get together and all this shit, right? I see David's like, I'm looking this shit up. He's got to be funny. He's already
Oh
funny.
yeah,
I wanna know,
he's
right?
on it. He's on it. He'll send me the clips right
I'm
away.
pretty sure you guys are gonna send me the clips, and then you're gonna be like, all right, we need you back on, buddy. And I love to come back because there's so much to talk about fuck the, and it's not fuck the white person. That's what people don't get.
Yeah.
Is I still do shows with white people. If I'm one club out of 1,000 that doesn't really put white people up, how offensive is that?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a white person, and I feel like if you had a show that I fit into, not fit into, like, but if I fit into, if you're like, I'm doing a show with, just new comics.
Yeah.
So that has nothing to do with gender, has nothing to do with sex,
You
whatever.
got opportunity.
I'm just doing that. Like, I would feel like you would give me an equal opportunity
Yes.
to be on that show.
I book more
right?
white people on Give, Love, Laugh and Santa's Naughty List and Cupid's Reject sometimes than I do any other shows because of that. Because it's like, okay, I got to let some white guys on. So there's going to be like 4 or 5 white guys on this show. Because
but if you're a white guy and you don't send a clip when you're asked to, or you don't, respond to an email, or you don't show up when you're supposed to show up, then don't fucking piss and moan that you don't get on the show. Just saying.
And that was the funny part, is that I've totally flipped the script in that sense. As a black person, you feel like if you don't show up on time, you're not early, you don't get on. That's how I kind of treat the white guys in this industry. You know what I mean? Like,
I treat everybody that way.
It's not that I don't treat everybody that way, because I really do. I mean, I only give you one. Fuck it, you didn't respond next week. But
what am I gonna do? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Life
really
goes
not
on.
gonna bend over backwards. And it's not like I'm not white. I am white, but I'm not looked at as white. I'm looked at as non-white. Let's just be real, right?
Yeah.
And if you're mad one day that you're not on a Superman production, we'll earn it. Do something that makes me want to do a show that puts
Get on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just because you're not on my show, you can't support the fact that I give opportunities to everybody else? Are you fucking douchebag? Like 25 to 30% of what I produce, I'm on. That means 50 to 60 to 70% of what I produce, I don't even do. Are you fucking kidding me? And you have a problem with Suitman? How?
Yeah. No, you have to create these environments for people to express themselves. It's if you were a painter, then you would, and you were gay, then you would sit around and you'd paint gay paintings, and you'd be like, cool, I got this opportunity. But if you're in a comedy environment or an acting environment, unless you're in a theater that has that for you, you're not going to get it. So, we have to create these environments where, and I think that's how you can be inclusive. You can almost be more inclusive by excluding yourself in a weird way, which sounds so twisted, but it's like, no, I have the space.
I'm only one
which
demographic.
is great.
Sorry, you're only one demographic. I'm only one demographic. If I focus on everything outside of me, then eventually will get back to me. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
it's fun to process through these thoughts because they're all things that we come to think of, and we want to produce good shows. We want to make great content, and we don't want to feel like we're not contributing to letting other people do what we love doing. So it's like, it's pretty cool that we get to do this. So we're pretty stoked. I don't want to keep you forever, but before we go, is there any last words that's come across your mind about making these shows, doing this business, finding our way as a new comic?
I want to start out first with saying I congratulate you guys. A lot of what I say to especially white guys in this manner, I get pushback. I haven't got you guys have like, damn, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, you're right. I love you, Bennett. I'm deaf, so I read you. So I'm deaf in one ear, if you didn't know, and so I read facial expressions a lot. And I know me and Bennett, we've clicked. I got you, buddy. You're my best friend. I've got enough facial expressions to know I've got a place in your heart. But I mean that, and all three of you, the fact that you said initially, I'd see all these shows and I get jealous, and then the mature side of me thought, well, why am I mad? Every show I go to at a major club, I look up and I see somebody in my demographic, and maybe one of them. Why am I mad they have their own show, right? That is huge. The fact that, you've got not so much but I'm on unemployment now. I get enough to pay my bills. I'm applying for jobs, but now's the time to push my brand. You've got a small club. It sounds like financially you're not worried about anything. Now's the time to push it if you're going to do it. Right?
Yeah.
Seems like David's in his bubble, Bennett, they've all got whatever situated to where you guys can do this. You're not going to get another chance where money's okay and you're not freaking out and you can do this. So you got to do it right. And so many people are so worried about being funny that being funny isn't going to be what makes you, right? Being a good person, being unique, and being consistent are what going to make you to the next level, right? There's so many people out there that aren't funny to you that are getting paid millions, but guess what? They're probably a good person. They're probably unique, right? And they're consistent in what they do. If you can find those three things, I don't care what you're doing. If you're consistent in what you do, you're a good person while you're doing it, and what you're doing is unique, you're going to be successful. And
if nothing else, we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Bingo, right?
And
which is success.
Yeah,
that is success. Anybody doesn't know. That is.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, talking about new comedians, right? This is the best advice I gave everybody. You can do 50 sets in the same place, or you can do 50 sets at 50 different clubs, and guess which one's going to make you better?
Different environments for sure.
The 50 different clubs.
Yeah.
If you can't tell after I do jokes somewhere 2 or 3 times, it's going to be the similar jokes. I don't write a ton. It's all going to be the same humor, but people are going to laugh at you because they like you. If you go to 50 different places and all 50 places like you, guess what? None of them fuckers liked you. None of them fuckers knew you. They laughed because they fucking thought you were funny in that moment. So many people get comfortable. Get on the road. Go to drive over to fucking Manitoba and do some open mics. Drive over to fucking Vancouver and get a hold of my connections and do.
We're going on tour, boys. We're going on tour.
Man. I think
right?
we should.
But you
Let's
have
get a gimbal
to.
and go on tour.
It's not even a tour. It's a weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like imagine, and just being serious, right? Imagine one weekend you said, okay, Soup Man, you can book the weekend. We're going to go to BC. Well, I'm going to handle, if I'm in Ontario, I'm going to handle your club right. I'm going to run a show. It's going to be okay. I know how to use a fucking computer, right? I'm going to record it. But now you go to BC and you get to hang out with Adrian and all those guys and do their whole market.
Yeah.
Who's losing? And then I can send Adrian down to Seattle and he can do my clubs.
Yeah.
Because we've
come
got
over here. Yeah.
And you rotate. And now you've got a
Definitely.
tour, but you're still working your market. And your market's still getting worked because I'm not greedy. It's not about me.
Yeah.
So
No,
the
I agree with
Comedy
that.
Ring can do their shows in
Yeah.
Seattle. And whatever name you come up with is doing their shows that weekend in Seattle.
Yeah.
And I'm coming to Ontario and it's Soup Man weekend. I'm just gonna let you guys know. White guys, you're not gonna get any time next weekend. Soup Man's bringing a whole bunch of colors and minorities, whatever you want to call
We
it.
have different people here too in Canada. We're not just white guys. We have different people here.
I got him. I finally poked him enough. I got him. He hadn't responded all show. Way to hold out.
We have some people of color here.
Yeah,
We have
They
finally-
are
diversity.
mostly
I got a
Indians,
black friend. Damn it, leave me alone, right? But
He's my best friend. He's my best friend.
Hey, that's between you and him. If he doesn't call you his best friend back, it don't count. That's friend rape. That's friend rape, right?
Frederick.
You didn't get
You could call him right now. Well, he's not up yet, but you could call him.
That might be a new joke about best friend rape. Like if
I
somebody hasn't
promise my
consented
best
to being
friend's
your best friend, you can't
Yeah.
go around saying they're
You
your
can't-
best friend. Like
No,
that's just
that's-
friend rape. That's not even. You got to get
It is.
consent. You're not
Gotta-
representing me. You're not
Yeah.
my bestie. Fuck you. But
Bestie.
that's the thing is you've got to get
I
out
know
there.
you. I mean, I know you, but I mean, I don't know you.
I
I mean,
don't know you. I'm not
I
trying
know
to
you.
put your mouth. But that's
Fuck.
what I'm looking for. What do you want to do? And as a new comedian, do as many clubs as you can. Stop worrying about doing 30 minutes. Stop worrying about doing 25 minutes. Stop worrying about transitioning. Be able to be the bullet. Be able to be the last guy. Be able to do 5 solid minutes. Be able to do 3 different 5-minute sets. Be able to go somewhere and open 2 different shows with 2 different sets. Fuck trying to do 35. Fuck trying to do 40. Fuck trying to be an hour. Enjoy the ride. And you don't enjoy that. You have all these people telling you, well, you're not a real comedian because you don't headline. No, you can go all over the country doing 10 minutes a time and get paid well.
right.
And if you
Because
make a group of friends, sorry.
We make our own money,
yeah.
and then we do it. You know,
Yeah.
The touring and the traveling and doing all that stuff and going out to clubs. That's the, that's the expression. That's where we can develop more, learn more, meet more people, have more context to our lives. That's the fun part. That's the journey. That's not where you make your money. You make your money doing what we're doing. We're figuring out how to do. We make money. We get videos done. We do whatever. We make our money over there. And then when we show up somewhere, eventually I'll go somewhere and they'll give me some money. But by then I won't fucking need it anyways. So
you'll have the sponsors we're talking about. And if you've
exactly.
built the brand, you've got people paying you 10 grand to take their product with you on tour. Do you think people are really making money on tour? They're making money because they're going and wearing their Rolex watch or driving the shitty car and they're renting through Avis because Avis is their sponsor, right?
Yeah.
And they're telling everybody they're staying at the Holiday Inn and they get free. Like, that's how you make your money.
Yeah.
I love David's face. David's just like, this fucking guy. He's got to answer for this fucking guy's got to answer for everything. But no, if you're thinking like a business, like I guess that's the thing. I've done a ton of business, finance. I'm a nerd. I've taught at a college. I've got a master's, right? Done all this other different shit. I've done stats for sports games, right? I've done all this other shit, and then I looked at comedy as like nobody's treating this like a real business.
That's exactly what I felt like. Exactly. After 3 months in, I was looking at it like going like these people don't have business cards. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, how are you going to get to know somebody? How do you? So I went and got business cards, and people are looking at me like, why do you have business cards? You've only been doing this 3 months. Well, I mean, when I started selling cars, I didn't wait 3 months to get a fucking business card. That's why. Like,
why are you wearing a suit? Because I want to wear a suit and tie, and I think I should be dressed up all the time.
Yeah, why not?
I'm Suit Man, and then I turned into Suit Man, right?
Yeah.
My long-term vision, do you know what I'm going to be doing?
What are we doing?
I shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm going to go to Nike, and I'm going to talk about them making suits for sports teams, the Suitland line. So when you get drafted, guess what? You get a New York Giants suit.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
You can get a Saskatchewan Rough Riders jacket, right? Or whatever the fuck you guys got in the CFL, right? But you take that to hockey. You take that to all sports. Like, if you had to wear a blazer, wouldn't you want to have a Penguins blazer or Canucks? Or, you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't that be dope?
It's a cool concept.
To have a Canucks color scheme suit?
Yeah, that is a dope concept.
Nobody's done that.
Some fly inserts, some nice on the inside.
Look at David. David's over there mumbling. What are you going to say, David?
Yeah, that's a dope concept. I think that could be pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want, and not everybody, I don't need everybody to buy one, but if 1 million people buy a $200 suit, that's $200 million.
Man, if 8 people buy it, I could pay for the sewing machine.
Yeah, hello, right? I can get some more juice for my hair, right?
Everybody's trying to make $1 million. I'm just trying to make next month's rent.
Right? Yeah, hello, right? And so there's so much stuff out there and so many avenues, and I think the biggest thing is I want you guys to do more stuff that other people won't do. You know what I mean? You guys want to talk about doing shows. You want to talk about booking people. I got Canadian comics. Just want my little 10, 15%. $30 a month is better than no dollars a month, right? Fuck, right?
Pays for the cable.
Yeah, right. And now I'm producing in Ontario and I'm producing in BC. And if we do enough shows, guess what? When I do show up and I go, hey, okay, so I'm going to be in town. I want the whole door. You can't really be mad. And people are going to show up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's going to be like
doing.
It becomes like instead of being, the traveling, you travel around, feature comic, do some hosting, blah, blah, blah. You're just spinning your fucking tires, right? Like build yourself a little brand like we're talking about. And when you show up, it's like a fucking movie premiere. It's fucking Brent's here. Holy fuck. There's exotic cars lined up the street. Holy shit. What the hell's going on? It's like, well, I just put them there because it makes you say what's going on. That's why, but it builds the brand. It's like this bigger than idea, we're not going to make money fucking $10 a head at the door. So
no, I mean, we're going to do fine. That's going to be the experience, right? But when somebody's going to want to buy onto that experience, people 100%. Are going to want to advertise to our customers because you've got a loyal fan base. People are going to start going, hey, fuck, these fuckers sell out every weekend. Can you carry our beer? Can we give you a free keg and pay you to let people drink it?
Yeah, that's better. I like that.
Right? Is that
Yeah.
better than charging people at the door to know that you're getting $200 guaranteed and a guaranteed cake?
Exactly. Yeah.
So now
No,
the whole door goes to the comics, and
Yeah.
now you can do what I always do is I paid people for bringing them. So I gave them an extra $5 if somebody bought a ticket and said they were there
Right.
to see them.
Yeah. That's a nice way to do it for sure. Shares the wealth. You know, we're not trying to get rich off of any door, anyways. You know, so if I did ever charge a cover, that's exactly what I would want to do with the money is give it away. And
You're gonna
you
get
know,
$10 for 10 minutes. You're gonna get $20 for 20 minutes. You're gonna get $5. You're gonna get a drink. If you really want to make money, we have a capacity of 30 people. If you brought all 30 people, I'd give you extra $150.
right.
What?
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reality is,
it goes back to now they've brought in people who want to laugh because they're good people and they believe in their friend, and now we're having a good time, and it's not just an asshole who expects people to, you know, all these things come back full circle and it's the same shit, and it all comes back, you know what I mean? Like I can't wait.
I like when people are like bringer shows. Bringer shows are stupid. Why should I have to go to a fucking bringer show? You think Kevin Hart's not doing a bringer show? Every person that bought a fucking ticket is his fucking bringer.
He brought everybody to see him.
And you can't bring 10 people. You can't bring 10 people. You can't bring 10 people. You fuck. Kevin Hart brings the 50,000 he brought. He brought them all.
And then that's where you get into this elitist status. I'm glad you brought that up because we can talk about why everybody says you have to be funny. That's their excuse for not bringing people.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why gatekeepers say you have to be funny, because they don't bring anybody. So you better be funny if you're not going to bring anybody. That doesn't make any fucking sense. That doesn't make the club money. That doesn't make anybody money. That's just an elitist status for you to be a prick and stop people from performing.
And if you are funny, then fucking bring somebody. Why wouldn't you want to share it? Like, yes, I think that's a great way to end Monday's meeting today. I feel very inspired. I feel excited. I want to thank you so much from Suitman Productions for coming on here and sharing us some knowledge and giving us some shine. We totally appreciate it. I know that David and Bennett both were quite engaged there, watching us speak about these fun things about our business as we learn how to do what we're trying to do. And thanks, man. Thank you for taking time out of your day for talking to us. Where can people find all of your Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz?
So if you Google Suitman Productions, it will be the first one to come up. Go to suitmancomedy.com. Everything is there from what we're doing, our schedules, some online links, my bio. You can get some stickers, some magnets, some shirts, a hoodie, basically anything you could think of. We just did Solstice to Sundays last night. This Saturday, we have a different...
Number one on Google in Canada. Number one came up for you, Suitman, number one. Suitman came up. I put Suitman, number one in Canada came up. It's you right there. And look, there, it's all you. You.
Suitman, hey, I'm doing something right.
You own the internet. It's just...
So
you and porn. It's just Suitman and Pornhub. That's all that comes up on my phone. I don't know.
Son of a bitch, you son of a bitch.
Why that is.
You don't know me. You don't. It's sexual chocolate.
You don't know me.
But this one I do want to end on. I do a podcast called Autistic Artists. We spotlight a different autistic artist every month. We pay them to be on there, and we also try to spread their idea, their merchandise, and what they are. I'm somewhat on the spectrum. I'm a little Asperger's. My co-host is on the spectrum, and everybody who we interview is on the spectrum. We're really trying to inspire kids who are autistic, get parents to understand that it's not a deficiency, it's a social deficiency, and it's not even that if people are understanding and not douchebags and assholes. So that's really something big that I'm doing now that is, again, not for me. I mean, it is for me, but people that look at me and see that I'm autistic. You got to hang out with me and see how I don't have a filter and I don't process shit to figure it out. I just look like this, right?
That's just why I liked you.
But you know what I mean? It's something different, and we do it live every first Sunday of the month, and then I put it on YouTube for people to watch at their disposal.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, that's good, guys. David, Bennett, we'll get ready for next week. We'll look for our guest for next week, and we'll talk about Whiskey Wednesday's going live back in the
Sounds good.
studio potentially a week from this
Yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah.
So we have that to look forward to.
Yes, sir.
Thanks everybody at home for watching us today. I'm Brent Sills at Silly Side TV, right here in Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. Nice to see you. See you next time.